The sun over the plains of Timnah was a merciless bronze disk, hammering the earth with waves of shimmering heat. The air itself felt thick and heavy, tasting of dust and dry time. Samson, a man whose very frame seemed to contradict the barrenness of the land, moved through it with an easy, powerful gait. His shoulders were like boulders shifting beneath his tunic, and his steps, though quiet, carried the weight of a destined man. He was alone, walking the rocky path to visit the Philistine woman who had captured his heart, his thoughts already on the feast and the future. The Spirit of the Lord, a constant low hum in his blood, was quiet today, a still lake rather than a rushing river. It was the silence that first warned him. The chirring of the cicadas ceased. The scuttling of lizards in the dry brush stilled. The very land seemed to hold its breath. Samson stopped, his senses sharpened beyond those of ordinary men, stretching out to read the world. Then came the smell, a musky, rank odor that spoke of raw meat and primal dominance. From a thicket of gnarled oaks and thorn bushes to his right, a low, deep-throated growl rolled like thunder. It was not a sound of warning, but of announcement. A creature was claiming this place, and Samson was the intruder. Then it emerged. It was not merely a lion. It was a king of beasts in his terrible prime, a creature of myth and nightmare. Its mane was a vast tawny halo around a head of brutal power. Its eyes were chips of yellow topaz, burning with an ancient and hungry intelligence. Its paws, as it paced into the open, were the size of a man's shield, and its claws, unsheathed, scored deep grooves in the sun-baked earth. This was no scavenger. This was a master of the hunt, a demon of the desert made flesh, and it saw in Samson the greatest challenge or the greatest meal of its life. The lion stopped, its massive body coiled, its gaze locked on the Nazarite. Samson felt no fear, only a cold, focused clarity. This was a test, not from the Philistines, not from his parents, but from the raw, untamed world itself, a test of the power that dwelled within him. With a roar that shook the air and vibrated in Samson's bones, the lion charged. It was not a run, it was an avalanche of muscle and fury. The distance between them vanished in a heartbeat, a blur of tawny gold and deadly intent. Samson did not retreat. He dropped into a crouch, his own blood singing now, the still lake within him suddenly churning into a hurricane. The Spirit of the Lord roared in his veins, a sound louder than the beast's cry. As the lion launched itself, a monstrous leap meant to crush him and bear him to the ground, Samson moved. He did not sidestep. He did not try to avoid the onslaught. Instead, he surged forward, meeting the charge with a primal power of his own. His hands, impossibly fast, shot out. One mighty arm hooked under the lion's throat, catching the full weight of the beast's leap, while the other seized a great handful of its mane and the muscle of its shoulder. The impact was colossal, a sound of thunder and cracking sinew. Dust plumed around them, a miniature storm on the sun-baked path. For a moment, they were a single, struggling statue, man and beast locked in a contest of ultimate strength. The lion's hot, foul breath washed over Samson's face. Its hind claws raked his legs, but he felt no pain, only a surging, incandescent energy flooding his limbs. He tightened his grip, his fingers sinking into the lion's hide like iron bands. The beast thrashed, its power immense, enough to shake an oak tree. But Samson was more than an oak, he was a pillar of divine fury. With a grunt that was itself a battle cry, Samson began to force the beast's head back, muscles corded in his neck and back, straining against the impossible. The lion's yellow eyes widened with a shock that was almost human, the shock of a creature that had never, ever been dominated. Then, with a final explosive surge of power that seemed to come from the very core of the earth, Samson gave a mighty wrench. A sickening crack louder than any branch snapping echoed across the silent plains. The lion's thrashing ceased instantly. Its body went limp in his grasp. Panting, the divine energy receding like a tide, Samson held the massive dead weight for a moment longer before letting it slump to the ground. The great king of beasts lay at his feet, its neck broken, its terrible majesty extinguished. He looked at his hands, then at the colossal creature he had slain with them. A profound silence returned to the land, deeper than before, now filled with awe. He left the carcass there by the path, a testament to a power that was not his own, and continued on his way to Timnah, speaking of the event to no one. It was a secret between him, the lion, and the God who had ordained the moment. Weeks later, on another journey, he passed the same spot. The lion was now a sun-bleached skeleton, a monument to his victory.